I'll go ahead and say it. Out of the blue, I got a message, an email from from my old doctor, a doctor that I used to see that I can no longer afford, but I got an email from him. I mean, I wasn't going to go seek him out myself because, and probably when I was under his care was probably, I wouldn't say like a best time in my life, but it was a good time. It was a productive time, and there was a lot, I got a lot of work done, and I'm ready, I think I'm ready to give that a try again, because I haven't been really functioning on my own. I need some help. I do. I'm not able to do it myself. Some of you out there, you know, are able to do it on your own without any help from anybody. And hey, more power to you. I'm glad that you're able to completely do all this stuff on your own, and you don't need any help from anybody or any help from any kind of chemical substance or whatever it is. But I just thought it was kismet. I thought it was fate. I thought it was a door opening by getting this email, and because he just out of the blue, he wrote me and said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing too well." So I'm going to go see him, and we'll see what happens. He was really he was like a friend to me too, you know, in a way. It was a good doctor-patient relationship. Anyway, so here's to that. Make that change. And for now, I'm not going to worry about paying for it. Oh, and look, I want to say hi to Drogo Pedicles. Your name, you know, I'm not really good with those Greek names, but Drogo Pedicles, I hope I'm getting that right, putting the accents in the right place. Look, I mean, I've been doing these vlogs lately, talking about YouTube drama and not mentioning names. Like, you know, it's sort of like, you know, you out there will know who I'm talking about, you know, that sort of thing. And I thought that was a good way to handle it, you know. But then a lot of you can't really follow what's going on, you know. But who was that gossip columnist back in the 30s who never really dropped names but dropped hints, and still that person, I think it was a she, but I guess she wasn't the only one that did that. I want to say Hedda Hopper. Anybody out there fans of old Hollywood? Hedda Hopper, is that right? They used to say a certain someone is working for a certain, you know, got an offer from a certain studio, and a certain someone is being cheated on by a certain someone. So that's how I was kind of handling it. I mean, if you want to follow YouTube drama, and you know who Racer X is, and you know who you know, Cyber9 Rounder is, and you know who the Network of Evil is, and if you care and you're following it, then you know who I'm talking about. But then for some of my friends, they don't follow that stuff, and you know what? Good for you. Because it gives me a headache sometimes. But I'll tell you, it sure got my mind off other problems. And maybe instead of dealing with reality, I do get caught up in drama, or I watch stuff on Hulu. What was that? I went through a series of shows. Oh, Tim was a fan of that show, and they show it on Hulu. What was it called? It was called Sons of Anarchy. And I watched a few of those episodes, and I really started getting into it. But it's kind of scary. Not that I was ever in close with that, but a friend of mine, his sister married a guy that was involved in a biker gang. And back in the day, they were dealing with the I mean, he was involved. He could score like large quantities of what back then they called crank. And my friend Ken, he got involved in that through those connections. Last I heard, he was serving time somewhere, you know. And I remember going to his sister's house, and you know, and seeing a lot of the the motorcycle club memorabilia and things like that, and yeah. So I mean, it's sort of not that I've ever been involved closely with that, but I know of it. So it's an interesting show, very well done, and that'll get my mind off my problems. Watching stuff like that. What else I was watching? Well, anyway, I don't know. I think I talked about a while ago. I went through the whole series of Dead Like Me. Man, that was a good show. God, it was really good. For some reason at the time, I really got into it. All right, but anyway, it's not recommended for everybody. It's sort of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer sort of thing, but it was about the Grim Reaper and all these different Grim Reapers. I've talked about it before. And I'm just rambling. Ramble, drinking some more coffee. So, let me, and I started to talk about Drogo. Drogo, look. Hey, I have to apologize to you. I dropped the ball as far as being a friend and keeping up with the correspondence. At some point before, when you would call, I would just call you right back. There would be your number. I'd call it back. And I remember I created a address file for you, and I looked it up, and there was your name, but I forgot to put the number in there. Okay, I'm sorry. So I don't have your number, and I would call you and fill you in on what's going on in the back channels. But don't think it was. No, I mean, it had to do with some other stuff, really, and but I want to thank you for in the past. He's featured a caricature of me in some of the videos he's produced, and he actually has done a couple of videos addressing me, and he also did a tribute video, and I'll put a link to it if any of you want to care to go watch it, because he's somebody that's been a good supporter of citizenkong and Fez Night. So I just want to give a shout out to Drogo Pedicles. All right, thanks, man. Here, cheers. Here's to you. Went full circle around there, talking about drama and getting distracted from drama, but I did get back to you. Sorry. And that's the way my mind has been working lately. It's too bad that I couldn't get paid for doing this, because actually this is the only job I have right now that I say, okay, got to do a Fez Night. Other than that, I have no real commitments. I try to do what I can each day, but I'm not self-disciplined. Never really have been. And I don't know, is that part of me, or is that part of something I need to change? I don't know.